Hi everyone, it's me, Lubna. Today is Thursday, June 29th, 2023. This video is dedicated to my loved one, and the topic of today's video is going to be childhood dreams. So let me get started by first reading out loud my journal entry for today, and that's my journal entry. And as you can see, I have a little sticker of a bumblebee on there today. Anyway, here it goes. Thursday, June 29th, 2023. Art does not simply reveal God. It is one of the ways in which God reveals and thus actualizes himself. And that quote is by the German philosopher Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Sometimes when I write a beautiful passage or draw an exquisite picture, it feels as though it is not me, but a higher power working through me to produce these remarkable things. The best works of art come about effortlessly, naturally. This is because each individual has a predisposition to express him or herself in certain ways, which are apparent from childhood. Each person has a unique gift to offer to the world, but most people lose sight of this gift as they grow up and increasingly face the pressures of society. I will hold on tightly to my unique gifts and talents. I will not let the world make me give them up. So let me first start by talking about the author of the quote that I had shared, which was Hegel. When I was in college, we had to read a book by Hegel called Phenomenology of Spirit, and that's why I chose to look up some quotes by Hegel yesterday, because he had come up in a conversation that I had yesterday, and I chose this quote because it had to do with art, which obviously is something that I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about all the humanities and arts and the creative fields. Anyway, when I read that art is a way in which God reveals and actualizes himself, I was thinking about a concept that I had learned as a psychology student at Columbia, which was flow. And many of you probably know what flow is. When you're in a flow, a state of flow, it's almost as though whatever you're doing is coming almost naturally and like you don't even have to think about it. It's when whatever you're doing is not too difficult but not too easy. It's challenging enough and it makes you feel like you're actually accomplishing something, like whatever it is you're doing. Whether it be the practice of law, medicine, arts, even doing your math homework. I remember that when I was in high school taking calculus and all of these other math classes that I took, when I was really into and understood what I was learning, but it wasn't too easy for me, but it was just the right amount of challenge, it was almost as though I was doing my work, solving the problems and doing the exercises almost without thinking about them, like I entered almost a sort of trance in my head. And I felt the same way when I took organic chemistry in college as a junior at Columbia. Like it was like solving puzzles, and I would do that, and I would zone out while I was doing that in the subway even when I lived in New York and I was an undergrad student there. I would just do organic chemistry practice problems. And I feel the same way when I do things that are related to my art forms, such as writing and also drawing. I love drawing, just haven't had much time for it lately, but I do love drawing. I write every day. And when I do these things, it doesn't come difficult. It's not difficult for me. Like writing these journal entries doesn't take me that long. It just takes me 15 minutes after I spend all my day thinking about a quote that I have on my mind, and then I go ahead and write down my thoughts, and it just takes 15 minutes because my thinking takes place when I'm doing other things throughout the day. Now I want to tie this back to the topic that I had introduced at the beginning of this video, which was childhood dreams. Have you noticed that when you were a child, there were certain things that you were drawn toward? Like you can put in front of a child various toys, and they'll choose whichever one they are most interested in. Like you can put like musical toys, something that involves drawing or creating or building something, and you'll see which one the child likes to play with more. And that actually says a lot about what the child's natural abilities and predispositions are. And it's true, like we are a product of a combination of nature and nurture, but nature is definitely a huge part of that, and the things we like are a huge part of that is determined by nature, and we're born with them. So why do we try to fight against that? If everyone, imagine if everyone was to do whatever they're naturally drawn toward and good at, all of society would benefit from that. And so many people in this world have gifts that they were born with and naturally interested in, that they never got a chance to develop because of other issues, that, like, you know, the fear of not making enough money to survive, so that they, instead of doing what they were passionate about, they chose to pursue a field that would make sure that they're financially secure. And so many dreams have died in that way. Although it's true that we need people to fulfill those tasks that like help society run, it's also true that we need great people in this world to push society forward. And that's why I want to encourage you to think about what your childhood dreams were. What were you good at? And what did you love to do as a child? I know that personally, when my parents would buy like picture books for me, I would go ahead and draw on the picture books. I would add decorations, and I remember making a magazine when I was in second or third grade with a few of my friends. Like I mean, one of my friends was very artistic and made her own fashion magazine, and I kind of copied her, but that was how it was. Like, I always loved doing artistic things and drawing. So most of us grow up and forget what our childhood dreams were. But go back to your childhood and think about what you loved before reality hit you, and what you loved to do, and how you wanted to be. What were your dreams? Not thinking about making money or surviving. What were your dreams if you could do anything at all, if anything was possible or open to you? It's really, it's inspiring to become like a child again in your mind and feel as though anything is possible. And I think more of us should go back into that state of mind from time to time and remember what our dreams were. So yeah, I'm encouraging you to think about your dreams and go and follow them. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my video today, and I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world.